Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. We're gonna be getting into the semi-final action next on our list. So it seems like, guys, that something sneaky peeky is going on today, and it is gonna be another PvP matchup coming our way. So that's gonna be our map pool right now in this best of 3. First map is going to be Eternal Empire. Little mistake there on the labels, but it's Everdream next on the list, and finally Simulacrum to round things off. This is going to be the PvP matchup between DavidBane as well as Suebee, or for many of you familiar from Quarantine number 1, actually going to be the name of G-Boy, who was one of the finalists who only lost out against Shenanigans there. But yeah, you know, a pretty big name right now, and this is a pretty big matchup in terms of the gold to diamond bracket, as we are going to be moving on into Eternal Empire. Seems like though, with the semifinals coming our way, we've had 37 players today, and now we are down to around 4 of them. We still have quarterfinal matches going on right now, but we are really being littered by the Protoss race by this point. Anyway, so it's time to get into the action, and time to get to our first semifinal PvP. It's time, guys, to get them wine with this one and drink it to your heart's content, because we will get a lot of cheese platters into this one. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be into game number 1 out of 3 in semifinals number 1 between Suebee as well as DavidBane. So this is our first semifinal on the bottom half of the bracket. We are still waiting on for the victor of SCPH as well as Sneezy Dwarf to see who's going to be facing off against Garchu up on top after the victory there against Skeletor. Big kudos right now to everyone who has been in our tournament so far, and especially our quarterfinalists who really tried to make it through. But it is what it is, and we are gonna see Protoss versus Protoss yet again here on Eternal Empire. It is an eternal matchup that we will get forever and ever and never and never and never and never and never. But we haven't even introduced our players here on top right of Eternal Empire. It is gonna be the blue Protoss. That is DavidBane. I'm just gonna listen, guys. This is totally a deck of cards and nothing else. I don't think you can hear that on mic, but this guy can really shuffle with the best of them and really shuffling up his tactics, basically, with those proxies out of nowhere, playing some standard, and has got such a good run. We were able to talk about DavidBane earlier on, and it really goes to show just the experience, the teachings he got from former professional players, and he is looking to be on a rampage right now, looking to make a date to the finals to secure him at least 700 pesos in our Quarantine number 2 tournament, sponsored by AKG Games Philippines. But hey, his opponent is going to be one of the toughest tasks in this bracket. He has been a little low-key. He has been not streamed so far as of yet, just like last time. But he is here, he is ready, and he is looking to just keep things up on a roll. This is our runner-up from Quarantine number 1. It is to be the Green Protoss of Suebee. Suebee, aka G-Boy. And this guy has been a pretty ardent supporter of the community, has been sending in replays as well to check out and cast in the SCPH Replay Casting Club. Besides that though, yeah, Quarantine number 1, making it all the way to the Grand Finals, being the best Protoss that we had into our bracket, losing only to Shenanigans and his Terran 111 Shenanigan itself. But hey, for Suebee, gonna be playing a pretty defensive road facility all the way on to that main base. Not going for the natural as of yet, not gonna be playing any greedy, because he's expecting something after seeing how DavidBane played on out in the previous matchup. So proxy robo facility here, and now for DavidBane. Whenever you are gonna see PvP, you have to think about another P word, proxy. Now, proxy means, guys, it is just all about being very close to your opponents, more or less. And it's just gonna be off your base, not really there whatsoever, surprise your opponent. You play a little far off, you're really hiding something, but with this proxy robo facility now coming our way, it's gonna be another quick reinforcement cycle of Immortals to begin with. Now, the interesting part is DavidBane is not gonna go for the Warp Person anytime soon. He's gonna go for the Observer first, and now here comes the Immortal, gonna be tanking things up. Immortal though in behind as well, and oh no, DavidBane gonna be losing his Immortal first. Suebee with the advantage right now, and he's looking for some microplay. That's pretty smart there from Suebee. Backing on out with the Immortal, getting the shot on, allowing the Stalker to finish it off. And I feel like this proxy already blowing up in the face of DavidBane, immediately gonna be going for an expansion. And what is this? On the bottom east, on the southern east, all the way on the bottom right here, right now, for DavidBane, making this look like a 4v4 map instead, a 2v2 map rather, a 4-player map, taking that expansion out of all things. Interesting stuff right now for DavidBane, as he is still going to be sending in the Stalker Immortal Volley. Now, he will not have any real minerals and gas in the back right now to build anything else. They are still both stuck on one base, so Suebee and DavidBane really have to play the micro game to try and win things out. And it feels like every single clash right now might make a difference. The Observer getting taken down is also a good game changer, as that is just a lot of vision going away there from Suebee. But Suebee doesn't really care that that's going to be happening, looking to go for the main base, looking to really expose his opponent for what he is. But DavidBane is a magician, he knows what's coming, he knows how to defend, and he puts a pylon on top of that ramp. Anyway though, these Stalkers now looking to come on back, so he's like, DavidBane gonna be going for that retreat. He's like, no guys, gotta make sure that we are safe and sound, and this is one way to go about things. Suebee though with the shade on in will get blocked up immediately, and will let those shades turn into the depths. Seems like though it's time for a back on out for a retreat, and into firing range we go. The Stalkers getting the phase disruptors on, and in the meantime, it's all about charge slots right now. 3 HP and the Dream, it's gonna get shattered there by the Stalkers yet again. And oh my god, that's a lot of probes. That is a strategic recall used to get all those probes. And what is DavidBane up to? Now Suebee is thinking, okay, my opponent is still on one base, and since he's not really attacking, I think I can go for a natural as well. If I can keep this up and I will have the advantage, I will be able to take care of everything along the way. It's absolute mind games right now, because DavidBane on the southeast side, fully saturating things up. 22 workers, the magic number, to put 16 onto the Minlooks and 6 for those assimilators. But hey, for DavidBane, he does want to really protect this southeast side with the reserve facility, as well as that new Nexus in position. Adept still coming on back yet again, and I'd love to see if DavidBane can really just defend without bringing his whole forces on to the frontier. But in the meantime right now, guys, Nexus for Suebee gonna be coming very, very close. The Adepts yet again trying to go for the pokes, but will be met by the pylon, and it really isn't gonna work out here for you, Suebee. You're not be able to penetrate that anytime soon unless you really go for the shots, but will force out the warp cycle though, which doesn't really sound too bad. But hey, don't really want to lose those in the first place. Arcos now set on up as well, as we do have the Templar Archives in behind. Does Suebee know that this is coming? No, he doesn't. So might be surprised with the blue balls of energy, just looking to pounce on him in the first place. Suebee also doesn't know that this bottom east side base, never mind, he does. Gets the Adept on, and will force one more Adept to go for the response. All gonna be micro here and now, and DavidBane really not minding what's happening onto his second base. Just sending that Adept on a stroll. And speaking of the stroll, here comes a little more of a walk on in, trying to just break down the door, break down the opening. High Templar right now gonna get fused on over to make another Archon. And in this instance, Suebee now knows that there is a base on the bottom side of this map. Templar Archives gonna be online as well. Did Suebee see that base coming? That's a unit composition coming. Seems like that is gonna be the case. And DavidBane right now has to make a little bit of magic work into this one. Warp cycle though immediately thrown on out. In the meantime, upgrades literally the same. Warp Beat as well as Charge Lot. Here comes the Warpers of Micro to try and keep things up. And in the meantime, Stalker's going down. The Immortal's trying to push on forward. In behind, though, the Archon's still gonna be there. The Warpers are gonna get caught eventually. But hey, these Archons getting some really good hits. And Suebee hitting his own Nexus for some reason. Taking care of all these Stalkers right here, right now. Forces out another Warp Cycle. But Suebee is out of minerals and out of time. He's losing all these units with the Immortal in behind. DavidBane taking a little bit of economic damage earlier on, but it just isn't gonna be enough to stem the tide. And a very smart play here from DavidBane. Suebee right now gonna be calling it GG. And DavidBane just one more trick away from moving in to our grand finals. Another match there, and that was a pretty exciting PvP, if I should say so, because that was so interesting how dynamic the matchup really went in the first place, how far it went, how far they would go to each other, and how far they could actually get the connection on. Really interesting bamboozle there from DavidBane, and it allowed him to find the opening against the natural, since we did have his opponent Suebee want to try and play the economic game, try to just time things right and look to outpower the opposition. Didn't really see whatever tech he had in his base or bases to begin with, so it just didn't really matter in the end. So solid play there from the side of DavidBane. Suebee now one map behind. He wants to make it to the grand finals. He wants to slice of that pie, and he wants to make it a two-time thing to try and go all the way here in the quarantine tournament. But Eternal Empire now taken down by DavidBane. As we move on in to our next map, Everdream. Seems like, a dream is something I would like to do once this is all over. And just, having a nap, like that kind of thing, resting after all this exciting action of StarCraft 2. But the quarantine tournament does not end. Big shout outs to all our frontliners really keeping us safe. And honestly, this is the front line right now for the SCPH scene. We are really trying to get things done, and we are looking to enjoy our time with you all. But right now, DavidBane is the one enjoying his time as we get into our next map of Everdream. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go with map 2 out of 3. If DavidBane is able to take this one, then he will be our victor and be our first grand finals. In the meantime, here for Suebee, looking for the return, looking for the retake, looking to figure things out. But hey, trying to boost onto the Nexus, gets more and more of these probes online. And introducing first and foremost, on the bottom left, it is the red Protoss. It's on the map already. It's gonna be Suebee. As we said before, it's DavidBane on the blue Protoss on the top right. So finally set on up, and it seems like we are going to get the standard of the Protoss. So I've been looking into these Protoss builds, and really the only way to go is 2 Gateway, 1 Cyber. 1 Gateway is just not enough to really face off against the opposition. And then going for a second base really slows down your rogue facility, your Twilight Council, and or your Stargate. So it just goes to show, in a mirror matchup like this, sometimes you're a little stuck in your ways, and if you don't really keep up with the meta and keep up with the comp that is needed to be run, well, you might get overrun instead. So here comes the Cyber Course looking to go online, and we are going to see our standard fanfare here on a PvP matchup. Now for DavidBane, he is just looking to really find the secure. We have seen him do a number of different tactics so far, all throughout our tournament. And I can't wait to see even more from him. But on that last match, wow, just getting those Archons on at the right time. Suebee not getting the information that he needed till it was too late. Tried to respond with his own Templar Archives, but it just didn't happen. And with the bottom right base as well, making his opponents basically secure. That was such a smart play in the first place. Anyway though, DavidBane again, another one of these proxies. This time the Stargate, he realizes the geometry of the map. It'll be the only way to get on through to the other side. But in the meantime, We'll see how this one is gonna pan out as Warp Gate now being researched on. Adepts looking to get in position in behind as well. And here for DavidBane is keeping things up on the Warp Gate count at the other end. Still, really is going to be a hard reset here and now for both of these players looking to make it through. And Suebee, with the proper scouting this time, catches out the proxy in position. And it seems like here for Suebee, he's not really going to be casting that one out whatsoever. He will try to go for the warp on in. Might be able to see that that is going to be a Oracle on the inside. And that's the thing about the Stargate, guys. You see what's being built on the inside. You see a little bit of a silhouette of the model. And here for right now, on to the base of Suebee. He wants to play Protector. He wants to make sure that he can shoot that one down the sky. Anyway though, seems like a bunch of probes dying right now, as that is a pretty effective hit there from the blue hand side. Oracle's getting some work, if I remember correctly. There you go, another set of kills. This time, it is going to be DavidBane using the Oracle apparently. What happened there? Just 8 probes going out of nowhere. It's time to get on out yet again. Highly unfortunate right there right now. But for DavidBane, he's trying to keep things up after the Oracle timings. It's just a lot of different kills there. 10 workers have gone down overall. And this hurts. This hurts Suebee to a solid degree. Next is though going to be going on up very soon. And it really is just how PvP starts out. It's a slow but steady race that literally turns into the ignition, turns into 9,000 RPM. And the best way to really keep things up is to hold on to your belts and buckle up your seatbelts and enjoy the ride. But hey, Forge going to be in behind yet again. In the meantime, here on the left-hand side, a Nexus now being built by Suebee, trying to expand, but might get beaten back by those Banelings one more time. But hey, still immortal into the field. DavidBane is making sure that he has a pretty proper composition in so many different ways to try and go for the attack. As this Stargate right now, gonna get empowered. Good call here and now from our red Immortal and Suebee, keeping on with the shots as much as possible. Really pressure now on to the side of DavidBane, because he's going to be losing any kind of momentum. He's going to be losing any kind of pressure right now and be forced to stay onto the other side. Now this does allow this game to actually go long haul, unless one of these two teams decide goes to finishing blow already, but the advantage should be on to the side of DavidBane right now. He's already been set up for a little longer. He's already looking to keep things in position, and he does have the bulk of his army in the front line in the first place. In the meantime, here for Suebee, Adepts yet again are the name of the game. He's been sending these things in pairs. He's been sending these things in just to try and kill everything. But unfortunately, it hasn't really panned out overall. Now into the natural they go. The Shade's gonna be in behind yet again. Good response already from DavidBane. And seems like that's gonna be all she's wrote right now. Looking for a second, looking for a third. That is basically it. There's no way they're gonna get the fourth. There you go. Successful defense here for the side of the Blue Hand team. And really, I'll never dream. You could probably dream of a nuke that's not gonna happen, but it's just pretty tempting. But hey, still on 2 base right here right now between our 2 Protoss players. It seems like right now that they are trying to decide to look into potentially going for a 200 mark. At the same time though, just want to talk about a little more how PvP is an interesting matchup. So in PvP, it is a matter of composition. What we start with, what you end with, and usually you also just have to respond to whatever they have in the first place. So how it goes is you start with what? You start with the Adepts into the Sentries. You also don't wait on that. You don't use that gas to get Archons in the first place. You know, and then your opponent has to do the same, but at the same time, they really went for a, like, HP and the like. It's just all about bulk, and it just doesn't pan out. Anyway, right now, it's DavidBane looking to get in position for more and more of the fights. Archons have been his bread and butter, and it's gonna be another spread right here into this one. Anyway though, onto the left-hand side. Suebee gonna be looking to keep things up. Charge right now. Gonna be brought online by DavidBane. And in the meantime, it really is gonna be +1, +2 actually. The blue hand side gonna be a pretty solid thing. Gearfoot is the warp person right now. Gonna be brought on over. 3 bases actually online into this one. And really, it has turned into a macro game. It has turned into such a different kind of approach in this scenario because here for DavidBane, he is feeling so confident to actually go for 3 bases as more and more of these high temps are looking to come on back, to turn into Archons, to be the bulk of the composition, and to look on through to the other side. Anyway, it's time to go for the push. It's time to be onto the north angle. We'll see how this is gonna pan out into this upcoming attack. There's High Templars being warped on in yet again. Shield batteries actually for the defense. And this is looking really good for Suebee if he's able to hold, if he's gonna be able to get the Archons in time, but DavidBane with a bigger army, well, this is gonna be such a table flip on to the head of Suebee. He's been playing so passive and DavidBane has been working hard to get those upgrades, and it isn't really gonna be looking good at all. The shield batteries were a false hope right here, right now for all of us, and DavidBane is our first grand finalist. He has made it to the end of this tournament. And well done to DavidBane, a victory there, well achieved, well earned, and able to make things happen. And that was a pretty explosive finale, honestly. It really felt like dominoes tipping on over to eventually give us the result that we were to get. And DavidBane is our victor. DavidBane is the best magician and also the best Batman villain at the same time. It is the DavidBane show right now, and he is the first one in to our grand final. So congratulations to DavidBane. He is guaranteed at least $14, at least 700 pesos, and he has done a solid job of making it all the way, coming in from parts unknown, but it seems like he's had a lot of experience in behind all of this, and congratulations there to DavidBane, our first grand finalist. The upgrades always matter, guys. If you notice how DavidBane used the Forge at the proper time, really finding the opportunity, really getting those upgrades, and with Suebee just playing so passively, it was DavidBane's show. He could do whatever he wanted. He could have juggled. He could have built 100 probes if he really wanted to and attack with that, and it might have a proper result because there was no real contester from Suebee for quite a while. There were a few instances, sure, that Suebee was looking for pokes, but there was nothing really threatening, and in the end, it was just like, DavidBane, I'm gonna even go for a third right now in a PvP. Isn't that ballsy or something? I'm gonna go for the attack right now. I have +2, and it is a pretty solid affair to say the least. But that is gonna be our first semi-final done and dusted, and we shall see who's gonna be joining him into the next one. We will be right back for our second semi-final match, and we are still waiting on for the result of that, so we will be back when that is ready to go, guys. This has been the Quarantine #2 tournament, and before we head on out for a little break, shoutouts to our sponsors, AKG Games, our major sponsor. Check them out at Facebook and Instagram on akggames.ph. And our community sponsors, DLS, Mizzle, Daks here, Supermalls, Bayagster, as well as Ball. Couldn't have done it without you guys, and couldn't have done it without the SCPH community. We shall be back for Quarantine Tournament #2.